Let's get it.
It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas. And I say all praises to the Most High. The Most High is so amazing how He works. And it seems as if every time I personally try to peg Him or say this is how the Most High works with me, He'll come back and say, don't do it. Don't try to put me in a box. I refuse to be put in a box. And to be quite honest, I'm so glad. Because I don't want to get used to him. And that didn't sound right. I don't want to get, what's the word, familiar? That familiarity that Nazareth had with Yahusha. I don't want to do that. All the way to the point it limited his abilities within his word. Because we know he can do anything he wants to unless he has tied himself to a word or given his word, if we might say. But praise the Most High. I do thank him for that, for doing that, for tying himself to a word and keeping it. Like the text says, he's not a man that he will lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. Basically saying go back on his word. And I did have a great thought I want to share today. And it's called Justice, the Most High's Way. Justice, the Most High's Way. Pardon me. I just basically finished working out a bit. Throwing some boxes. Yeah, you might see the background. I'm at our storage area. And we're doing a little winter transferring of our clothes and all the stuff we don't need in our apartment. But praise the Most High. Justice, the Most High's way. And I say that because, you start moving and working out, start going to flowing and you start spitting. Well, that's how it is for me. And you get that heart rate up. But let me give a little background to this idea. Like I said, it's amazing how the Most High works. I had just heard a teacher teaching on this. I wouldn't even say he was teaching on it. He was basically, him and this young lady, they was having a conversation about how the Most High works and how he does things. And he mentioned this idea. And the Most High had already been dealing with us last week, or dealing with me, concerning justice. And it was in a way where basically somebody did me wrong, but instead of me acting ugly and getting outside of myself and trying to handle it like I would have back then in them days, the Most High led me into all truth, to where I was able to not only get what I was owed, but get like triple of what I was on. It was more than triple. But like he told me, don't try to put a limit on what I can do, even as far as your payback. Because I did the right thing. Not only did I do the right thing in the beginning, but then I kept the right attitude in letting him take vengeance out for me. Letting him get justice for me. As he gave me that thought at the beginning of last week. Pardon me. And then when I heard the teacher speaking on it yesterday, that idea reverberated in my mind. He was basically saying, I'm not finished. This is just the beginning, basically. And last evening when I was going to sleep, going to bed, I like to read me a script so I can meditate on it while I'm going on off to sleep. And basically that's when I have my little prayer and study time before I go off to sleep, a lot of times. But at this time I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I just wanted to get a quick faith boost in my system before I laid down. And he just told me a script. He said Psalms 9. I said, okay, Pop, let's read over Psalms 9. And after I got to reading it, which I read it almost all the way through until I got to 15 and 17, and that's what we're going to read over today. The nations have fallen into the pit they dug for others. Oh boy. Their own feet have been caught in the trap they set. The Most High is known for his justice. The wicked are trapped by their own deeds. Quiet interlude. Which means Salah. Which basically means think about that. But this is the Most High's justice. This is how he works. The Most High way. The justice the Most High's way. The nations have fallen into the pit they dug for others. Their own feet have been caught in the trap they set. The Most High is known for his justice. The wicked are trapped by their own deeds. Hallelujah. We're going to ride on that. And I thank the Most High for his justice. Like I said earlier in the week, basically going to put it out there, I did a job and I wasn't paid what I was supposed to be paid for. So with that said, I got in touch with the right people, went through the right avenues to get paid correctly, but I wasn't paid. Matter of fact, they still haven't added the money to my check or to my onto my pay, period. But I said all praise to the Most High. He said, don't you even worry about it ever again. Don't say nothing else about it. I said, okay. So in that process of me not saying anything about it, the Most High started working. Like I said in my idea that day, I said, when you cast your cares on the Most High, then he's you're letting him to play catch with your enemies or those that did you wrong. You're not trying to play catch with them. You're letting him play catch with them. See, when you cast your care on him, you're throwing it off on him, and now it's his responsibility. And praise the Most High, he went to work indeed. And I started getting money added to my pay. And I'm not going into all kinds of details about how it came about. But all I can say is that the Most High began to work. Not only one time, not only 2 times, but 3 times. And even on top of that, he told me don't even limit him to that. So I said, I won't bother. I'm going to let you deal with it. Because you're my daddy. You're my papa. And see, he hates when somebody tries to do him wrong. Or his children wrong. Or his wife wrong. You do know Israel is married to the Most High. See, he don't play with his children or his wife. And the way the teacher was breaking it down, he was like, you do know that the wife is pregnant too, don't you? that she's a pregnant wife. Is or was described in Revelations when they speak on the woman going into the wilderness and the Hasatan trying to kill her baby. And the baby escapes, which was Yahusha. And Hasatan is still after the woman and her seed, who her seed is us, her children. But all praise to the Most High. Hasatan has no wins. And see, that's the key. When we really think about it, and see, I'm not going to say gotten in a type way last week. I didn't get in a type of way. I just felt the Most High allowed me to feel some things. And He began to teach me through that, which I know it's not all about feelings anyway. But a lot of times the feelings do speak, and they speak very loud. But like I was saying, the Most High was speaking to me about not just my situation, but the situation that our people are in, and in particular our children, and what they're facing these days. And He reminded me of a thought that my pop told me. He was like, I didn't know y'all was facing all the type mess you're facing these days. But anyway, we just have to give the Most High praise for working on our behalf, because He is. And see, whenever we get to the place where we're become troubled, I'll say, or overwhelmed, we gotta remember the time. We gotta back up, rewind the tape, and start pointing back to what He did back then. And that's like the hardest thing for us to do, because we get caught up on the present. We get caught up on what we see. And see, that's what He was reminding me of them feelings. Not only are they feelings, but they're also temporary situations that affect our feelings. And we have to remember things aren't going to be tomorrow like they are today. And that is if I deal with it differently than I am today. And things are the way they are today for a reason. So I have to change up how I'm dealing today so I won't face the same issues tomorrow. Praise the Most High. All praise to the Most High. See, we have got to let Him work. And we got to let Him work like He want to work on our behalf. Praise the Most High. Let that be my time. Justice the Most High's way. So I guess we would say that whatever we're seeing in our lives, we got to cast that care on the Most High and let Him set our enemies up. Let Him set Hasatan up on our behalf. All praise to the Most High. Stay up, keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. And that teacher was talking about the nations of the earth and how the Most High has set them up trying to set us up. Just like he says in Psalms 9. He'll give them just enough wiggle room. Praise the Most High. To wiggle themselves in a spot that they can't get up out of. It's just like this movie I was watching. Cowboy movie almost, of course. That's what I pretty much like, cowboy movies. For one thing, they're simple, straight to the point, good versus evil, and a whole bunch of sexual temptation in the movie. And you pretty much know what's going to happen at the end. Good is going to win and evil going to lose. So this, these fellas were ranchers, and they was in a situation where they needed some cattle, and the only cattle was the ones in the mountains. They had some before, but the government took them. The army stole them, saying that they needed them for the men, to feed their men. So they were pretty much had it back against the wall, and there was nothing they could do. So the man's wife told him, he was like, there's plenty of cattle up in the mountains. He was like, yeah, you're right, but it's a hard and dangerous trail. She was like, well, you can do it. There ain't nothing you can't do, nothing you can't handle. And he was basically like, well, you're right. And to get to my point, him and his partner went up there, and they was trying to run him down, and they was having a whole lot of problems trying to wrangle him. Every time they was trying to wrangle him, they'll get the okie doke. The cattle are out, smart them, outrun them. So the fella said, okay, in order to get a trickster, you gotta trick him. You gotta trap him. So he set up a trap to where cattle, they love salt. So he set up a trap where he made a trap so that they can get in, but they couldn't get out. Just because they wanted that salt so bad. And his partner was questioning. He was like, you sure this gonna work? He was like, you'll see. So they went back down off the mountain, check on the wife. Then by the time they got back up there, the corral was full, the trap was full. And that was the beginning of their business, or the beginning of their ranch. They already had a ranch, but they ain't had no cattle because the government stole them. And I should say that was the beginning of his business, because he built a cattle empire off of going up in the mountains, bringing down the cattle. And what had also happened, instead of some of the ranchers letting the government steal their cattle, they released them and let them run off up into the mountains. So when this happened, the young man got smart. He was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up here and get the cattle without a brand, and also get the cattle with the brand, bring them back down, and sell them back to the owner. The people that had them before, who refused to give them away to the government, they released them, and it was basically like, they're gone. We're not gonna go up there and get them. So what ended up happening was instead of him selling them back to the owners, he would go out and sell them and give the owners a cut of the sale. Because they was basically like, we're not gonna go back into the business of ranching, and basically you're gonna make money off it, well, I'm gonna make money off it, so go on and sell it and just give me a cut. So that helped his business also. But I said all that just to tell the story about the trap and how those cattle, their taste, they were so hungry for a taste of that salt that they would trap themselves off in the trap. Really didn't know, because, you know, beasts of burden, they're not too smart. They're pretty much in their DNA, they're programmed to do one thing, and that's what they do. They eat, boo-boo, reproduce. Eat, boo-boo, reproduce. But I thought it was such a smooth way that he trapped them off. But see, that's how Hasatan does. He's so enamored, if that's the right word, with killing us, tricking us up, and trying to get us destroyed, that he sets himself up, him and his imps, him and his children. So praise the Most High. See, the text says that the Most High is famous for how he gets justice. And he gets it by letting the enemy run up in his own trap. And basically, it's saying that the enemy digs a grave for you, but his headstone is what's written over it. He's writing his own headstone over the grave he's digging for you. Because he's going to go down into the pit, as the text says. The grave. And in that same text, the Most High says he's going to cut their name off from in all the earth, so they won't be remembered. Praise the Most High. And we gotta be careful of how we look at the Most High, saying he's only love, he won't kill you. We just read over a text yesterday about the Most High being the one that drowned the Egyptians. He drowned them soldiers. Up after somebody's wife and their children, they'll get you, they'll hurt you bad. Real bad. Praise the Most High. I just had to come back and say that, because that was the other side of the coin, because a lot of times we speak on personal situations, and the whole point is we're all in this together. You know, it's not just us, but it's all of Israel that's facing these troubles daily. But the encouraging word is that the Most High is fighting for us all. And he's letting all of our enemies trap themselves up off in their own devices. So praise the Most High. I had to come back and say that. Shalom.